Hi, my name is Cristi Saylor, and I'm one of the online tutors that works with Home Tutoring Plus. I wanted to take a moment and make a short video to give you an idea of what it's like to work with a tutor online. One of the first things you notice is obviously the video and also the headset. It's really important to have a good headset, and preferably one that plugs into the USB cable port. That way you get good clear sound, and in particular with the mic. Having a mic like this that comes across is really helpful. This year we're trying out a different platform than we've used before. We're using the Zoom platform, and this one I want to take a minute to show you some of the features. What makes this great is that the students really just have to go into one meeting, if you will. They don't have to go into, say, Skype and another whiteboard as I've had them do in the past. So let me give you an idea of what can happen here. I can share my screen, and when I share my screen, I have a few options. One of my options is a whiteboard, so I'm going to do that one first. As you can see, I've kind of been typing a little bit in there ahead of time just to give you an idea that as student and teacher, we can type back and forth to each other. Just open up the text box. So have a text box, open it up, and we can type. We can erase things by clicking on the eraser, as you see. We'll get rid of all of that. And also, I can draw. So let's say this was spelled incorrectly. I might circle it, or I could make a little arrow and type up here, the correct spelling, and so forth. I find this really helpful for both math and also for English and writing. This lets me get a real feel for how someone is doing things. How are they writing? How are they figuring out how to write? I especially like to let them, write something really, really short. I just start them off with something short. So this is a really good way for them to do this. The same for math. For example, if I'm working with someone who has a really hard time with some real basic things, I can just ask them to work it out in front of me and think out loud so I can see what they're doing. So this is one way that we can share our screen and also work together. Another way that we can do this, and I do have to stop sharing for a second in order to open it up and then start sharing again, which is kind of a bit unique, but it's not a big deal. I can go in there to the share screen, and instead of selecting the whiteboard, I can select a worksheet in this case. And here is one in which they want the student to kind of learn about finding what details really do support the main idea. So I'm going to come over here and move it over, and I need to get, here we go. If I put my cursor up at the top, then these little things pop out, and annotate is one of them. So when I click on annotate, I can choose, do I want the mouse? Do I want to select something, text, draw, whatever? I'm going to go ahead and select draw. And here I might say, all right, let's follow these directions. Write an X next to each sentence that includes a detail about the main idea. And they tell us the main idea. And at this point, if I'm using this particular thing, I've just begun to talk about the main idea. We've maybe worked on a short paragraph where the main idea was really listed out for them. So now I want to kind of get a feeling, did they really get that? So main idea, the Statue of Liberty is an important historic symbol. Then they read each one of these, and they can put an X or a mark. Sometimes kids like to circle, whatever they want to do. The Statue of Liberty, one of the most popular New York tourist attractions. Does it work? We're going to say it does, and we'll circle it, or maybe we made an X. The point being is that you can write right on here. I also can choose to save. So let's say they did the work, and I really want to show their teacher or their parents how they did. I can choose to save it, and I can make a folder for it, and so forth. So this becomes a really helpful tool. So let's say we're done, we've talked about it, and now I want to practice it. So I stopped sharing my screen again. Again, this is a little bit of an awkward part to this particular platform, but other than that, it's a great platform. So I might want to have them practice again. So I'm going to share my screen again with the whiteboard and say, all right, so we've talked about it. You worked on some examples. Let's come up with a topic, and let's just keep it to a few sentences. So I may say, all right, what are some topics? And they'll pick a few topics. Let's say it's football season and they're really interested in football. All right, well, what about football? How about, how players are chosen for a team? For a team. Okay, So now they have a very specific topic. Now we can start to write about it. And I do like to have them do a little brainstorming. So maybe I would say, all right, well, let's open up another text box over here and let's list out what are the ways. So let's list. So we may have a list of a few things, and I'm not a football person, so I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to guess. Let's say talent, I don't know, age, size. Like I said, I don't know football, but I'm just going to run with it. So let's say they choose a few things, and then I'll say, all right, well, let's write about that. And when they're first starting to do it, I like to keep it really short paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences. That really pushes them to kind of make a real tight paragraph. And we would go from there. Again, I could choose to save this. I could come up here and I could save it so that the following week when I come back, I can say, hey, let's see what happened. What did you have? And I can show it. I can pull it up on screen share just like I did with a document, and we can go through that. I'm just going to choose to clear everything. I can clear all my drawing, clear each other's drawings, and so forth. I'm just going to say clear all of them. And I might stop the screen sharing, and let's say at the end of my session, we've looked at some specific examples, we've tried it out ourselves, and then I may give them something at the end. Okay, I want you to try writing a paragraph. We'll come up with maybe one of the other topics we didn't use, 3 to 5 sentences, no more. What I like about starting them that way is that with 3 sentences, you get the basics. An introduction, a body, and a conclusion. 5 sentences, a little better, you get a little more of a body. But it doesn't overwhelm them as well. I haven't said, I want you to go write some big long paragraph or essay. We're going to get to that. And what I really like about having the video is at the beginning and the end, we can really have some very good face-to-face time. And they can ask questions, and I can ask questions, and we can do a little chit chat. I think one of the things that you're in danger of with online is, not building a rapport. But you don't have to worry about that with the face-to-face, the video, because you build in just a couple minutes here at the beginning and a little couple minutes at the end to just kind of really engage. And you can really do that much better with a video. So that is a short introduction to video tutoring and gives you an idea basically of what it looks like. Thank you.